All right, welcome. It is another edition of the Black Belt Newscast.
Yeah.
I'm Cindy Fisher, publisher.
I'm Todd Prater, staff writer.
We have had a busy week,
Very.
both of us. We've been all over the Black Belt this week. And as you know, we're the Black Belt News Network. We cover 6 counties in the Black Belt. We are always online at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. We are also, another way to get all your headlines in the Black Belt is to sign up for our daily newsletter. Because you can just go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and it'll ask you within the first 3 seconds. It is free for this newsletter. It gives you the headlines at 3 o'clock every afternoon. That is how you're going to stay in the know about what's going on in the Black Belt, because we are writing we're very prolific, aren't we, Todd?
Very much so. Got a lot of stuff to write. So we write a lot of stuff.
And we do. And I have been getting a lot of emails from you guys. So I know you're listening and you're watching. I love it. With your news ideas at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. A lot of times it's events. Can you add this to your community calendar? I actually just restarted the farmers market in the Black Belt story that we do every summer. So if you've got a farmer's market in your area, we'll add it to the list. So yeah, blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. So let's get started in Demopolis, because they have had a big couple of weeks, especially last week, where, the Senate approved the healthcare high school bill. So it is on its way. And we got some other big news, didn't we, Todd?
We did. As a matter of fact, the governor herself requested that she be able to sign the bill in Demopolis. That, of course, is when they were in the Civic Center announcing the money from Bloomberg's. When I spoke with Mayor Woody Collins, he said that Rob and some other folks from the foundation were in New York meeting with the Bloombergs. The governor requested that she be right there in the Civic Center and sign the bill into law in the Civic Center in Demopolis, where everybody can be there and witness her signing it. And so Tuesday at 11, I get Tuesdays and Thursdays mixed up. They both start with T. I'm sorry. So Tuesday at 11 o'clock in the Civic Center in Demopolis, the governor will sign that bill. And Woody told me something else, Mayor Woody, that I'm supposed to keep a secret, but I'm going to tell you.
Uh-oh.
He didn't really say to keep it a secret, but it's kind of neat. The governor was a teacher in a former life. And this is a school that we're talking about. By the way, that building is going to be torn down. They're starting from scratch. But that's the building right behind Whitfield Memorial Hospital, where it's going to be going, where the school would be built. But the governor was a teacher. This is a bill about a school that's being built for education. So they're going to get a historic desk out of the Marengo County Museum right there that's in Demopolis, have it on stage, an antique desk for her to sign the bill. So you're going to sign it on that desk, and then they're going to mount a plaque commemorating that moment and then put it back in the museum. So I thought that was a neat touch. So they're working to get that to happen. And they invited anybody who wants to come and witness. She said the governor doesn't want any standing room available even. She wants everybody to be there.
Well, this is such a big deal because it will bring high school students that will be learning the healthcare industry, that will live on campus, so in Demopolis. So we're going to have teachers that will be coming to the Black Belt to work there. And they will be in, as you saw with Whitfield Regional Hospital, they are the partner hospital. And it will be within walking distance. That building that you saw, this one right here, it's going to, it shows up in a second. Yeah. Wait, there it is. They're going to be knocking that down in order to do the dorm and the classrooms.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like the math and science school and the fine arts school.
Exactly. And Mayor Collins was telling me that not only is he excited for Demopolis, obviously, because it's going to be really good for Demopolis, it's close to downtown Demopolis. It's close to some of the 80 right there where the Whitfield is on Highway 80. But it's good for the Black Belt. Part of the point of doing this and having it in the rural area is to introduce these high school students to rural life and rural atmosphere, rural ambiance, and have them learn to be rural doctors, because we have a shortage of healthcare workers in rural areas in particular.
Yes, we do.
And so that's the whole idea, is to help get them in the mindset of loving the rural area. And we hope that it's going to work that way, and it will. I'm sure it will.
Hey, I fell in love with the rural area.
Oh, me too.
It works.
Oh, and I fell in love. I lived in Demopolis for almost 10 years, and I love that town. So it's not hard to fall in love with it.
It's about to be much bigger in Demopolis, but they also are getting.
There's going to be all those kids there. Yeah.
And they've got the West Alabama corridor coming through there, which was 43 that will be expanded. So there's a lot coming on up to Demopolis. So you go, guys.
Hey, the Black Belt can use all that help. That's going to be great.
Hey, let's go to Marion and Perry County for a second and talk about the Lincoln Normal School. Yeah. They have gotten a $750,000 grant through the National Park Service that will help them do with rehabilitation for this gymnasium. And that is the last part left of what was the very start of the HBCUs, the historical Black colleges and universities. That later became Alabama State University. It's a really neat history. They do have some reunions there still, so it's still used. And it's really cool that this funding is going to it. Terri Sewell helped score that funding through the National Park Service. And it is also part of $3.1 million that she has gotten for other things in the District 7. But the gym project is a total of $1.2 million. This will go into that pot to help. And they use it for tourism, and the community uses it. It is not the only thing that is, it is a well-used last historic item.
Yeah, historic item is still being used, still in use, and still very valid, and it's beautiful.
And if you've got comments, we can see them. If you make comments on our social, if you're seeing us on Facebook, you can also see us on YouTube. I can see your comments and I can answer if you have any questions or any comments to what we're doing. So let's stay in Marion. Terri Sewell, speaking of Terri Sewell, made a trip today to Marion. This was today.
This today was her part of her Congress in Your Community tour that she does every year, and she visited Marion. She was at the Sowing Seeds of Hope building there, just behind the health department. Joining her was Navoy Gordon, who is the state director for Alabama Rural Development, a division of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, and he was talking about the available and the different services that he offers to communities. And he was saying that they specifically offer the services to the community entities, but the people, the citizens, need to tell their leaders what they need, and then the leaders come to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Infrastructure, internet infrastructure, and that's one of the things that they were talking about mostly is the not just roads and bridges infrastructure that they have also done, but also setting up the rural areas, especially in the Black Belt, and in District 7, for better internet, better high-speed internet. After she spoke, and after Mr. Navoy spoke, Congresswoman Sewell sat down with various groups of folks to address some of their specific issues, other issues that are related to other things. And this is her staff also doing the same thing, answering questions and talking to the constituents about various things that are going on, and things that they had questions and maybe need help with. So it was a really good meeting. We're going to have more details in the paper, but it was
it's like a busy day.
Yeah, it was a busy day. It was a good meeting. And I think that the people like it when they see the leaders come down that way and to meet them face to face. And so she was doing that. You remember last year we did the same meeting. It was in Uniontown. And that's when, speaking of Uniontown, she spoke about, and so did Mr. Gordon, about the water situation there and how the U.S. Department of Agriculture has helped, again, speaking with Demopolis, help hook Uniontown and Demopolis together to help alleviate some of the problems in Uniontown. That's all U.S. Department of Agriculture funding and whatnot. So I tell you one thing she said over and over again, too, was when you get this federal funding, talking to the community, not the specific, to the community, when you get the federal funding, make sure your leaders spend it wisely. So she it was all good stuff, but she was specific about making sure that when we the government do this work, make sure your leaders are doing their part of the job, because obviously in the past it hasn't been done that way, and
the only way to get more is to spend the first one correctly. So,
she said those very words.
Yeah. So let's stay in Perry County and talk about. There was a visit to the Black Belt this week, today and earlier this week. But today, some professors from the University of Alabama came to Uniontown. They went to Greensboro, Uniontown, and Selma. I got to speak at this one in Uniontown. And they are looking at how to help nonprofits and businesses and these are professors in lots of different things, from economic development, community affairs, and they learn by being out in the community to see where they're needed. So we got a chance to talk about the Black Belt News Network and what we do and how they can help us as we look to, financially stick around.
Yeah.
So this was a great meeting.
Serve our people better.
And it was other nonprofits. And I love learning what other organizations are doing and maybe suggestions that they can make that maybe I can learn from, and that maybe they can learn from me. So that was really neat. And this is the Renaissance Center in Uniontown, is owned by the guy in the blue shirt. He owns this and he uses it and donates it for a lot of community opportunities, community events. It's pretty neat. So just tossing that out there, that they do come through once a year or so with their new professors. And now we're going to switch over to Selma.
Okay.
Give us an update on the YMCA. I hear the pool is closed.
Well, yeah, you had gotten an email and passed it to me, and I said, wow, what do you mean the pool's closed? It's not. Is it permanently closed? So we wanted to, this is one of those emails that our viewers and readers sent us. Yep. We followed up on it, and we found out that, yes, the pool is closed, but only temporarily. I spoke with Austin Williams, who is one of the marketing director, outreach director there, and he said they are repairing some of the mechanicals, and they're waiting for certain parts to come in that have been a little difficult to get. But once those parts get there, that's Austin sitting with me. Once those parts get there, then the pool will be opened back up for everybody to use, and they'll be doing swimming lessons. And he was talking about how the membership is pretty good right now, but he'd love to see more people there. Actually, that's Sheriff Grantham in the background.
I thought that was Mike. I was like, is that?
That's him. Yeah, he uses a lot. But he was Austin was telling us all about the different programs, and that's in this week's paper. So you need to pick up a copy of the Selma Sun.
The print edition of the Selma Sun.
If you get the print edition. But he was talking about the basketball program and the lunch program that he gets to cook for the kids during the school year, and all that's wrapping up right now. But the summer camp program is starting to kick off, and so he said he was really excited. It's his favorite time of year, and you can call the YMCA and find out more about it if you want to get your kids in the summer camp program. So just to recap, yes, the pool is closed, but only temporarily, and it will be open back as soon as they get that part. He said no exact date, but it should be very soon. So we'll say our prayers.
Okay, sounds good. So let's talk about bird watching. I know this is like, oh, what do you mean bird watching? Well, guess what? That is a big economic draw to the Black Belt, because we have a lot of birds that you can see in the Black Belt that you can't see elsewhere. And so the Alabama Audubon executive director, this is Scott Duncan, he started this Black Belt tour, birding tour in Selma. And so this is at Live Oak Cemetery. And I see several friends in the crowd, including my mom. and my dad, because they love birds too. But this is great because they show them, and birders are typically well educated and they have money. So that's kind of what we want to come to the Black Belt and visit, right?
Right. And correct me if I'm
Maybe.
wrong, but that's Old Live Oak Cemetery, isn't it?
Right. It's new Live Oak, or is that old? Is it old Live Oak?
Well, either way, it's interesting that they're bird watching in the cemetery.
They are.
I think that was,
Yep.
with all the beautiful trees, it's a great place to go.
It is a great place to go. So just a little aside that we do have a story about Alabama Audubon and their bird watching program that they are doing through the Black Belt. Started in Selma. We'll see where else they go. We'll announce it. Go to blackbeltnewsnetwork.com and find out where else they're going to be. But it is a really neat other economic thing we can do to bring more tourism into the Black Belt. Another thing we do in the outdoors is fishing, and we love fishing.
Speaking of bird watching, that was a very one of Big Daddy's favorite things. He loved bird watching.
There's Big Daddy himself.
There he is, and that is last year. But it is the Crappie tournament. Now
there's Mandy.
Before Big Daddy died, he told Taylor Ward at CT Ward Power Sports, please keep the Crappie tournament going. And so he is. Not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow, May 18th, Big Daddy Lawler's 7th annual.
Yep. Crappie tournament. And it will be at Roland Cooper on Saturday.
Right there.
And we will be there.
Yeah.
And what will you be doing there?
I'm going to be the MC.
You're going to be the MC.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to be able to fill Big Daddy's shoes, but I'm going to at least keep the seat warm.
I know it's tough to fill those overalls, but if anybody could do it, you can, Todd. And he would be so happy to know that you're the one carrying it on, just like CT Ward did as well. And it is big, important for it to be a tournament that's here in the Black Belt and using our resources that are so amazing and awesome.
It is, and it really is a special tournament because unlike most, there's a winner every hour on the hour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is one this actually was Big Daddy's idea. There is an overall big fish and an overall winner, but they'll have winners every hour on the hour starting at 9. They'll launch at 7 from Roland Cooper. Now, you can launch anywhere around the lake, anywhere around the Miller's Ferry, and you got to fish in Miller's Ferry, but the weigh-in is going to be at Roland Cooper at the T-Pier. Every hour on the hour starting at 9 o'clock. And then the big overall announcement is going to be at, I believe Taylor said 3. They need people to sign up to fish it. It was so much fun last year and the year before. And I mean, it's sort of serious, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, so people may not know that we lost Big Daddy earlier this year or last year,
5 months ago. So yeah,
and it's pretty rough for us because we loved him. He's a outdoor guru, and we loved him. And he actually is a huge supporter of the Black Belt News Network, huge,
big time. And we traded stories, and we
shared our stuff. So, and we hope to carry on the Black Belt outdoors love as much as he has. We have plans for that, so stick with us on that.
Well, one of the things we're going to be doing next weekend while this fishing tournament is we're going to be recording another episode.
Camping in the Black Belt.
So this is fun, and it's getting close. We're about to. It's not too much longer before we drop the first one. So.
I know. So I glamped in the first 2 in a 28-foot camper from Camper Kingdom in Marion, Mississippi. We thank them so much for loaning that to us. Wonderful video of how to glamp and the best way to kick your feet up with a glass of wine and a salmon while you ate an MRE.
The way you said it, an MRE. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
But this at the Crappie tournament and at Roland Cooper, I will be in a cabin.
Yeah,
I'll glamp in an even better way. So we will show you guys like the beauty of being in Roland Cooper and all that they have to offer, as well as the Crappie tournament. We will be there for that.
Yes, it's going to be a fun, great weekend. A lot of good black belt stuff going on.
Yes, I can't wait for the camping.
Me either. I can't wait.
Yes, and we are going to be going live with our segment soon. We've been hard at work editing that together and having a really good time with it. And I want to fish, but I don't know if I'm going to fish the tournament because I'm not that good.
Well, now that's funny you say that. The reason Big Daddy designed it the way it's designed is so that people with a lot of experience can fish it, but people with very little experience can still fish it and still have a chance to win something. Because you don't have to bring in a fish every hour on the hour.
Right.
But you can. And if you're the only one or if you're one of a few, you have a good chance of winning whether you're a professional or a novice.
Well, I love it. And you know what? One of the other things that we like to do is to thank our sponsors.
Yes.
Randall Miller Funeral Services. You guys are amazing. And based in Selma, can help you in whatever way you need in the black belt and elsewhere. Oh, wait, I do that too.
Yeah.
Right? We love you guys. Betty Miller is the best. Randall Miller, you are the best. And thank you guys for all that you do in the black belt in Selma-Dallas County. And of course, follow and subscribe to what we're doing. We're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We are everywhere at blackbeltnewsnetwork.com. I don't know if you can hear all the boats behind me. I don't know how it got loud all of a sudden. It's so beautiful. That's the river. Beautiful weekend ahead. So we hope you guys enjoy. Visit blackbeltnewsnetwork.com for anything else that you might have missed. Sign up for our newsletters, and we will see you guys next week.
And happy Mother's Day, Cindy, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms.
That's right. All right. We'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.